Well, hey, everyone. Welcome to The Truth About Beer In, the podcast where two nerds with mics share a beer and talk about all the crap that they're interested in.
And tonight's as redundant as it may sound, we're going to uncover the surprising, ancient, and sometimes tipsy story of beer.
That's right. I'm Keith, and this is my co-host, Papa Joey. And today, we're cracking open a cold one.
Let's do it.
I'm excited for this one. Well, historically speaking, anyway. So did you know?
Right. It's all about history.
Did you know that beer might have helped invent civilization as we know it?
Well, that's really no exaggeration. You know, beer influenced agriculture, science, medicine, and even refrigeration. So grab your favorite brew and let's go way back.
Hang on, you poured it already.
I did.
Damn it.
And when I say way back, I mean like way back, almost 7,000 years back.
That is a long time ago, isn't it? It's hard to comprehend.
You know how many beers you could drink in 7,000 years?
I don't think our liver would appreciate it, but hey, you know, it works.
Yeah.
So.
Well, let's learn something.
Let's do it.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Warning. Viewer listener discretion is advised. The majority of the content of this program is not factual. It is highly advised that it not be used for teaching your children from said content, other than making an example out of the hosts of what they should not grow up to be. Remember this, it's the beer talking.
Welcome to the truth about beer.
All the crap that we're interested in. Searching for the truth. Exploring the unexplained. Investigating the paranormal. Subscribe now.
Hit the alert
button so you don't miss an episode.
Ow!
Welcome to the truth about
beer.
And the earliest evidence of beer production comes from ancient Mesopotamia, where the Sumerians were brewing a primitive form of beer as far back as 5000 BCE. They used partially baked bread made from barley, crumbled into water, and fermented by wild yeast. This early brew was thick and porridge-like, but it was a staple part of their diet and often safer than water. Beer wasn't just a beverage. It was a cornerstone of their food culture and a communal ritual.
In Sumerian mythology, beer was so central to society that they had a goddess devoted to it. Ninkasi, she was a divine brewer, and her praises were sung in what's known as the Hymn to Ninkasi, which also doubles as one of the oldest known beer recipes. This indicates that beer held a sacred status and was an important part of daily life, religion, and ceremony.
The Hymn to Ninkasi, dating to around 1800 BCE, is both a religious chant and an instructional guide for brewing. It details how to make beer using bapper, which is barley bread, malted grains, and by fermenting in clay jars. This dual role of being a prayer and a manual to follow shows how interwoven beer was with both spiritual and practical life in early civilization.
The Egyptians adopted and advanced the beer-making tradition. Workers building the pyramids were paid partially in beer, around 4 liters per day. Their beer was often sweetened with dates or spices. In ancient China, archaeologists have found pottery with beer residues dating from around 7000 BCE, suggesting that fermented grain beverages developed independently across cultures. Did you know beer, it was more than just a drink?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it was sacred. Workers who built the pyramids were literally paid in beer rations.
And beer probably led to settled agriculture.
Hmm.
I mean, people needed to grow grains to keep the fermentation going.
Yes.
And so we could keep drinking.
We can keep drinking.
Beer quickly became more than just sustenance. It was also a trade commodity. In Mesopotamia, it functioned as a form of currency. Laborers and officials were often paid in beer rations. Beer thus played a role in establishing early economies and trade systems, helping to organize labor and commerce.
The rise of beer led to technological advances in pottery, as people needed containers for brewing, fermenting, and storing beer. Specialized jars and amphorae with specific shapes helped optimize the fermentation process. The design of brewing vessels even influenced the evolution of early ceramic technology and craftsmanship.
You know what's wild?
What? Sorry.
Beer might have been one of the reasons humans started writing things down.
Good point. Yeah, not only to preserve the recipes, but, to keep track of all the supplies, who's getting what, who provided what grains, Accountants have been around a hell of a lot longer than we started using for taxes.
Whose kneecaps they had to go out and bust if they didn't pay up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Damn accountants.
XXXVII. Wow.
The world's first writing system, cuneiform, was born in part from the need to document beer transactions. Tablets recovered from ancient Sumer record grain allocations, beer production volumes, and rations given to workers. Beer accounting helped drive the development and literacy of administrative systems.
Oh, I got to do it again.
Beer was a centerpiece in religious ceremonies, feasts, and funerals. It was often poured out as offerings to gods and ancestors. Shared drinking also reinforced social bonds, and beer helped to establish class distinctions. Higher quality brews were reserved for elites and temples, while the common folk drank simpler versions.
XXXVII. Jeez.
As Roman society declined, monastic communities became the custodians of brewing knowledge. Monks in Europe monasteries brewed beer for sustenance, hospitality, and income. They improved brewing techniques and documented recipes, turning brewing into a disciplined and semi-scientific practice.
XXIVII. That doesn't work.
Hops began to be used in beer around the 9th century in Germany and became widespread by the 13th century. Hops added bitterness that balanced the sweetness of malt and acted as a natural preservative, allowing beer to last longer and to be transported farther. This was a major innovation in brewing history.
CXXVVII.
But that's how it goes. Millions of people.
Did someone say Reinheitsgebot? Or however you pronounce it? I bet I know someone that can.
I bet so too.
I think we better call on the guru of the suds for this one.
He's the man.
And here he is.
Joey, Keith, hello. It has been far too long, so cheers. Today, I am drinking Kona Big Wave. So this is from one of the big guys, nothing small or fancy about this, but just a delicious golden ale that I happen to have in the fridge. So cheers, and it's good to be back. I should be drinking a German beer though, because what we're going to be talking about is the German beer purity law. And so really what this came about is originally when beer was being brewed, we're talking, the year 1000. And from then on, there was a lot of impurities being added to the beer. It wasn't always the safest thing to drink because of what was being added to it. And so really in 1516, what they did is they created the Reinheitsgebot. I believe I'm saying that correctly. And that is the German beer purity law. And really what that law was stating is that beer can only have 3 ingredients in it. So you got water, barley, and hops. Now you may be thinking, what about yeast? Well, really, they didn't really fully understand yeast at the time and the role that it played in the beer making process. But once that was understood more, I believe in like the 1800s, that was officially added to the law that yeast is also that 4th ingredient that could be added to beer. But really the whole point of this was just to make beer a safer drink and a more consistent, the quality of it for the consumer, all of those things. And this is still a source of pride in German brewing today. It is absolutely still in effect. But one other change, like I say, the yeast was added. Another change in the 17th century, they also added that wheat could be used as well. So instead of barley, you could use wheat as well in the beer making process. And so that's why you do have some delicious German wheat beers. And then you also have your traditional German beers. And it, kind of goes back and forth today of really if people support this or they don't support it. The argument can be made that it definitely makes German beer unique. The quality of it is consistent, and that you still can get creative. There's many types of yeast, many types of hops, barley, all of that you can use in the beer making process, following this law and these rules, and still make delicious and unique beers. But there are limits to that. Like dry hopping. We talk about that a lot in some of those previous shows, especially with the hazy IPAs and things like that we all enjoy. You would not be able to do that. It cannot be a dry hop. It has to be a wet hop type beer. But anyway, so that is Reinheitsgebot, the German beer purity law. And I hope you enjoy. Can't wait to see the rest of the show. Cheers.
Well, thanks, Jeff, Guru of the Suds.
Yeah.
And there's a reason why we use this beer today. We featured this beer.
Absolutely. It happens to be from, it's brewed in Bavaria, Germany, at the oldest brewery in the world.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and they've been brewing since 1040.
Wow.
Not in the morning. I'm talking about the year 1040.
That's almost 2,000 years ago.
Almost 1,000.
1,000 years, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it is 1,000 years.
A long time ago.
A long freaking time ago.
And it's very tasty.
See, I've been drinking, so I said 2,000. My math's off. Shouldn't do math and drink.
So I think what I understand that, the original purity law was 3 ingredients, but that's because they hadn't discovered yeast at the time. But since they discovered yeast, thanks to Louis Pasteur.
Go Louis.
Yeah. It's got a 4th in it. Well, a 4th ingredient.
So it's the closest thing.
Yes. And it means we get to enjoy it faster and more frequently.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Louis.
And thank you, Jeff.
And thank you, Jeff. Yeah.
In medieval Europe, beer was often safer to drink than water, which was frequently contaminated. The boiling process during brewing killed harmful pathogens, making beer a healthier option. As a result, beer became a daily beverage consumed by people of all ages, including children.
Did you know?
Okay. Oh.
Did you know that monks were the original brewmasters? You didn't know that, did you?
I didn't.
You learn something new every day. They were scientists with sandals and cellars, like basement cellars,
Wow.
wine cellars.
Yeah, and being monks, they took it seriously.
Oh, you bet they did.
Yeah. Some abbeys even used beer profits to fund hospitals and schools.
That's a good use of fundage.
Tell you, would be in a world of hurt without beer.
Yes, we would. I'll drink to that.
Wow, me too.
Germs. What is this germ theory? I hate germs.
In the 19th century, French scientist Louis Pasteur studied the fermentation process and discovered that microorganisms, yeast and bacteria, were responsible. His work laid the foundation for germ theory and modern microbiology. Pasteur's findings also helped brewers understand spoilage and improve consistency.
Before Pasteur, brewers didn't understand what made beer ferment. It was seen as a mystical process. Once yeast was identified as a living microorganism responsible for fermentation, it allowed for the cultivation of specific yeast strains, vastly improving flavor control and batch reliability.
With the invention of mechanical refrigeration in the 19th century, brewers can now store and ferment beer at a consistent, cool temperatures. Combined with the expansion of railroads, beer could be shipped further, faster, and fresher, turning local breweries into national brands.
Pasteur's work also led to the development of pasteurization, which enabled bottled beer to have a longer shelf life. Bottling transformed beer into a mass-market product, allowing for widespread distribution. This was the beginning of the global beer industry as we know it today. You know, Pasteur didn't set out to revolutionize beer.
Didn't?
No. But he did.
In what way?
His yeast research changed biology.
I think I remember hearing, when I took biology, I remember hearing his name, Pasteur.
Yeah.
I think it's Pasteur. That's how you say it.
Louis Pasteur.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so.
I mean, before that, fermentation was magic. Yeah.
They just had to wait.
Yeah, they just had to wait. Now it was science. And, that caused industrial brewing just to take off, skyrocket.
Thank God.
Thank God for us.
Yeah.
This is a very good beer, by the way.
It is.
It's delicious.
It's very tasty.
By the late 1800s and early 1900s, major beer companies emerged and began to dominate markets through mass production, advertising, and consistent branding. Giants like Anheuser-Busch, Heineken, and Carlsberg helped shape consumer habits and create a global demand for standardized beer products.
In the late 20th century, a backlash against mass-produced lagers led to the craft beer revolution. Small breweries began experimenting with new ingredients, using traditional methods while creating new, bold flavors. Craft brewing reintroduced variety and artistry into beer and reinvigorated local beer cultures around the world.
Beer has become an experience-driven product, giving rise to beer festivals, brewery tours, and growing culture of home brewing. Microbreweries often serve as community hubs and tourist attractions, creating economic and cultural value at the local level.
Beer has long been the unofficial ambassador of let's just get along. Whether it's monarchs clinking frosty mugs for photo ops or small-town mayors pretending they know how to pour a pint without spilling half of it. Pop culture has done its part too, from Homer Simpson treating Duff beer like holy water to those over-the-top Super Bowl ads that make us think our lives will instantly be better if we just drink the right beer. Beer isn't just a drink. It's a universal icebreaker, a liquid handshake, and occasionally a questionable decision in a bottle. Well, all right. Well, hopefully you've learned something about something new about beer anyway, and its origins.
I did.
So let us know in the comments if you learned something new, or if you'd like to add something to this episode.
Yeah.
You know, teach us something.
Let us know.
We'd like that.
Yeah.
So,
well, speaking of what did we learn, I think it's trivia time.
trivia time.
Yeah, I like trivia. I love trivia. So,
Well, let's see.
which U.S. president brewed beer in the White House?
Yeah, I'm thinking the peanut farmer, Jimmy Carter. You know, because beer and peanuts go together really well.
That they do. That they do. Well, you know, I mean, that's a great guess. You know, Jimmy Carter was the president that that passed a law that legalized home brewing. So that's pretty good. And it sparked the craft beer revolution. But no, it wasn't Jimmy Carter. It was actually. You're sitting down for this.
I am sitting down.
It was actually Barack Obama.
Oh. Well, at least I got the right political party.
That you did. So, what else have we learned today?
Well, we learned that beer built civilizations.
Yes.
Funded monasteries, launched scientific revolutions.
Big time.
And now in its many varieties has been the inspiration that fuels this channel.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep. Yep. So thanks for joining us on The Truth About Beer and
Beer.
Well, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you guys next time. Cheers.
Cheers.
Welcome to the truth about beer.
It had to be the only one for me is you, and you for me. So happy.
So what else have we learned today?
Built. One more time.
You want me to lead you into it?
Yeah. Medieval and monastic. I like to play monastic.
The medieval monks were the original brewmasters. Yeah. Scientists, scandals, and sellers. Like
Did you say scandals?
Yeah. Oh, it's just
They probably did have scandals, but
sorry.
I gotta go to the woodsmith. This sapling just needs a little bit of work.
Can you bring me another pencil?
And how is the way?